So I decided that interest would not beat me up all day and the banks would not kick me in the butt all year. And once I made a decision to take my income and invest it into an enterprise, and my enterprise became revenue, and my revenue became profits, and my profits became investments, that's when I got financially free. And I've been free now for 25 years. It's time for people in America to stop struggling. America is the wealthiest country in the world. And why are so many people struggling? It's because of our educational system. I talked about that with letter E. Why are so many people struggling? It's because they don't understand capitalism. I talked about that with the letter C. Why are so many people struggling? It's because they don't have a happy hustle. I talked about that yesterday with the letter H. Everybody's just trying to hustle and do what they see everybody else doing instead of doing what makes you happy. So we talked about that. That's just a few recaps. Let's go into I today and get out of here, man. Hit share on this video right now. Go ahead and hit share. And if you're accepting this challenge, you don't have to use all the letters I'm going to use today or the words I'm going to use today. Just use what makes you comfortable and share this knowledge. I. You know what I want to start with? Believe it or not? Who can tell me, right? I'm going to start with the letter I and the word I. You know why? Because I didn't earn 7 figures until I realized I was the problem. I was the problem. I had to be responsible for my own knowledge when it comes to money. You have to have specialized training and specialized education because they're not teaching this in schools. I had to be responsible for the fact that I lost my first $1 million in my 20s because nobody taught me capitalism. Nobody taught me how to save, make, and grow. Nobody taught me how to invest. Nobody taught me that every dollar you make is supposed to bring back 5. And then you take 2 for yourself and reinvest 3. And then when you make 12, you keep 4 for yourself and reinvest 8. And then when you make 100, you keep, 28 for yourself, right? Nobody taught me the rules of investing. Nobody taught me the power of a home-based business. Nobody taught me that debt was not your friend. Nobody taught me that the IRS is not on your side. Nobody taught me that re means again and fund means money. So a tax refund is not a smart business decision. It's simply your money again. So why are millions of Americans getting a tax refund if re means again and fund means money? So it's simply your money coming back. Nobody's doing you a favor. Nobody taught me that. So today's letter is I, because I had to be responsible for why I got audited in my 20s. I was also responsible for how I rebounded and got it all back in my 30s. I am responsible for sharing with you transparent moments and experiences so that you will not go through the same thing. How long are you going to settle for the income? How about that I for today? I'm getting into my rhythm now. The Jay-Z of keynote addresses. How long are you, meaning I, make it personal, going to settle for the income that you're earning and allowing somebody else to tell you how much you're worth? Now, here's the reality. There's nothing wrong with a job. I tell people all the time, I'm not knocking the fact that you have income. Be thankful for your job. A lot of people don't have one. Just don't be satisfied with your results. Be thankful for your job. A lot of people don't have one. Just don't be satisfied with the results. So if you want more income, what you have to do is learn how to convert income into capital. Your capital then becomes revenue. Your revenue then becomes profits. Your profits then become investments, and your investments then become financial freedom. That's a formula for success. That's a formula for success. I had to make some income. I had to be responsible first for the fact that I was not happy with my situation. It's not the government. It's not church. It's not God. It's not the banks. It's not my parents. It's not generational curses. It's not my education. You have the internet. How about that for another I? I'm just sneaking in here real quick. You got the internet. You got YouTube. You got Instagram. How about that for another I off the top of the head? I'm sneaking in real quick. You got information from Instagram on the internet that can give you everything you need to take your income, convert it into capital. You take your capital, convert it into revenue, or what they call enterprise. You take that enterprise and convert that into profits. You take those profits and convert those into investments, and you take those investments and you convert that into financial freedom. That's 6 formulas for success. Write them down. I play a character called Nick Negatory. I haven't done it. Maybe one day I'll come on here as my old man, Nick Negatory. And as Nick would say, jot it. So we can no longer, possessive, right? I want you to make sure you put this in the comments. I will accept responsibility. Go ahead and type that in the comments. I will accept responsibility. Because until you have ownership and possession of the fact that your income will never get where you want it to be because somebody else is actually giving you that income, you have to use those 6 steps I just gave you. You, meaning the I watching this right now, have to understand that the information is available. You don't have to go to college to learn how to make money because the information is right here on the internet. I had to stop being ignorant about the rules of this game. How about that for another I? I had to stop being ignorant. And if you're ignorant to the rules of money, and I don't mean that from a vain perspective, please understand, I'm not being condescending. I said I'm owning this. I was ignorant about the rules of money because nobody taught me money. It didn't mean my dad, rest in peace, it didn't mean that he didn't have honorable intentions. It didn't mean that my mom didn't have honorable intentions. It's just that they grew up in an era where the industrial age thinking, how about that for an I? The industrial age mentality was what they grew up in. Was what my grandparents grew up in. So my parents grew up in the corporate mentality. So industrial eras become corporations, and then corporations said, go to school. So that's what I did. It's not that they didn't know money. They were just products of the era that they lived in. Well, the era that you live in is the information era. So why are you claiming ignorance when it comes to money when you live in the information era? That's an oxymoron. You can't be in the information age talking about you don't know. No such thing. No such thing. So be responsible for your own ignorance. You know by now that if a tax refund has not served you well and all you do is use the tax refund to get out of debt, then why are you doing that the next 20 years when all you do is give the tax refund back to the people who took it from you in the first place? Which brings me, debt has what attached to it? Interest. So if interest, another I, is attached to your debt, you giving away more money than you making, you'll never get wealthy. Interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance that you cannot afford. So why am I living in the information age paying all this interest when I have the ability to get the proper information to turn my situation around and convert my income into investments? Now, I should have saved that for the end, but I'm flowing right now with all my eyes. I decided a long time ago my income was not enough. So I didn't let my ignorance keep me from the information that I needed to start investing because I wasn't going to give all my money away in interest. Y'all wonder why I'm the Jay-Z of keynote addresses? I'm just telling you. So interest is the penalty you pay for the right to own something in advance you can afford. So your interest rates are high if your credit score is low. Don't you know every day I talk about how we can restore your credit? Every day I talk about how you get rid of your interest. Every day I talk about how you lower your taxes. Every day we talk about how you earn extra income. So why is it that you paying for cars 2 and 3 times because of poor credit? It's because the banks have decided that you are a high risk. So because you're a high risk, they get more money up front. And by getting more money up front, you pay for the car 2 and 3 times. So I had to make a decision that I was going to get my finance in order. I had to make a decision I was going to get my credit scores in the 800 so my interest would be low. I had to make that decision. Until you accept responsibility for the position that you are in, you will never be successful financially. So why is it that the government and banks work together to set you up? Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's the government's talk. We're going to send them to school to get a job. Nothing wrong with a job. But by then, you have children, you're married, you already got your car note, you got your house or apartment, so you got to go ahead and ride that out for a minute. We're going to take all the taxes off the top. It's called a W-2. A W-2 says we're going to take the taxes off the top, which is usually 28 to 33%. That's the highest tax bracket is a job. The government says if we take the money off the top and get them to work for us for a third of the year, so you basically work for the government from January to April. I'm going somewhere with this. You work for the government for 4 months out the year, not only 12 months in a year. So if a third of your money's coming off the top of your income, then that means you work for the government for a third of the year, which is January to April, for example. Now they know you're going to have to go back to the banks to get a mortgage, a car note, some credit cards, and student loans because you didn't make $50,000, you made $32,000. So if you make $50,000, but you take home $32,000, then they actually took $18,000. So you got to borrow $18,000 and pay back $24,000 to get back up to $50,000. But now you borrowed, the interest was $6,000. So you gave away $6,000 that you could have been investing. Because your interest rates on everything you have is the leverage that the banks gave. The banks leveraged you because you needed them. So to get back up to 50,000, it costs you a ton of interest. That's called lost opportunity cost. The money that you could have been investing, you lost in interest. They made the millions and not you. So let me give you a tip. You need to income shift. I started shifting my income. When I started to shift my income years ago, my income and my revenue went through the roof. Income shifting is simply starting with a job, being thankful but not satisfied, passing it through a home-based business. Go back yesterday and watch H. Home-based business. That's why you got to watch all of these because they tie together. Go back and watch H. A home-based business pays a lower amount, allows you to pay a lower amount of taxes than your job because your job is earned income. A home-based business will come on business income or 1099. Capital gains pays the least amount of taxes. So what you've successfully done is income shifted from the highest tax bracket through the lowest, through a middle tax bracket, and you ended up in a lower tax bracket where the government takes less. But no, you want a tax refund where they take all your money during the year. You could have been using that money to get this interest up off you. And because you're not being fiscally responsible, they take advantage of your I, which is you. Get it? You would have more money, as I conclude, to invest, my final I, if you income shifted out of the job. That don't mean leave your job. It means open a home-based business, which allows you to adjust the W-4 on your job, get more money back into your paycheck, which increases your income without you doing any extra work. The secret is to income shift out of the highest tax bracket, adjust this W-4, which we do for you, right? Contact the person whose video you're watching. They're part of our organization, part of our movement. We adjust this W-4 for you with trained IRS enrolled agents. They look over it for you. The home-based business is now open for you to adjust that W-4. You now pay less taxes in the middle, and now you can invest into things that pay the least amount of taxes. Capital gains, go back and watch G. Capital gains pays the least amount of taxes. That means anytime money makes money, it doesn't pay the same taxes as labor, your job making money. So if you sell a house and make $100,000, that's capital gains. An asset made the money. But if you have income and make $100,000, $33,000 gone. So you got your gross and you got your net. The middle is taxes. That's why your net makes you feel gross. Get it? So what I want to tell you guys today is please share this video. I'm not here to sell you something. I'm not here to get you in something. I'm here to get you out of something. I decided a long time ago I would no longer be ignorant about this capitalism game. So I decided that the information was right in front of me where? On the internet, and ignorance was not going to be my excuse. So I decided that interest would not beat me up all day and the banks would not kick me in the butt all year. And once I made a decision to take my income and invest it into an enterprise, and my enterprise became revenue, and my revenue became profits, and my profits became investments, that's when I got financially free. And I've been free now for 25 years. So I'm just thankful that you guys are watching. I appreciate your time, and I hope you, which is I, which is you, share this video with all your followers, man, because I'm coming back with J tomorrow. I got 26 days. I'm a third of the way through the alphabet. So I hope y'all stay with me for the other 14 days. All right. Y'all have a good day, man. Peace. Share this video. Share it. I had a ball. Hope you did too.